Hi there, I'm verified champion trader Kevin Davey, and today I'm going to show you an algo that actually works in 2022. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm going to describe this algo trading system. It's based on the money flow indicator. If you don't know what that is, I would just go to Investopedia or Google and just type in money flow and you'll see what it is. But this strategy is based on that index. And that's it. It just uses the money flow. And it has a simple stop and reverse. So if the money flows a certain way, it's going to go long. And if it's the opposite, it's going to go short. There's no stop, no profit target. You might get a little scared by that, but I've found that stop and reverse systems tend to be pretty good for performance. They keep you in the market all the time, but you almost never miss big trends, and that's where a lot of the money is. This is based on entry number 24 that you can find in my Confessions of a Champion Trader book. And what I do with those entries from that book, a lot of times I'll go and I'll modify them a little bit and make them a little unique. But that's a good starting point. So that book has tons of ideas you can use. So let's take a look at the rules. Well, first, obviously, since we're dealing with the money flow index, you're going to calculate the money flow index. And then if it crosses above an oversold number or an oversold region, you're going to buy. And if it crosses below an overbought region, you're going to sell short. And that's pretty much it. And again, buy signals automatically exit the shorts, and short signals automatically exit any long signals first. So it's a simple stop and reverse type system. Here's this Tradestation code. Again, if you don't know Tradestation, you should be able to follow along pretty easily. Tradestation uses what they call easy language, which is pretty easy. If you can follow this, you could probably program in Tradestation. So the top part, I have an input, my input variable. Then I define a couple variables that I'm going to use. And then I calculate the money flow. Tradestation has a built-in function that calculates money flow. And at the bottom, you see the rules. If the money flow crosses above the oversold value, buy next bar at market. And if it crosses below the overbought, then you sell short next bar at market. That's it. That's the whole code. So obviously part of this, we look at optimizing, we look at trying some different values, see what works. That's all part of my process. One variable, the look back length, we're going to go from 10 to 50. So medium to sort of long term, we're going to go in steps of 5. So that's one input, 9 iterations. So it's very little optimization. And you might want to compare that to some of the things you see out there where people are running thousands or millions of iterations. That's not how I roll. That's not how my students roll, because it's not a good practice. Less is more. And speaking of less, and speaking of simple, you might say, hey, that strategy is really easy and you're not iterating that much. Does it really work? Well, in most of my trading, I subscribe to Occam's razor. If you've never heard about it, Google it. You'll read the backstory on it. It's kind of an interesting story. It's from the 12th or 13th century. So this concept has been around a long time, long before people were trading, and especially algo trading, right? The idea is if you want to get from point A to point B, you can go in a straight line. Hey, that's the simple way. Or you can take some kind of convoluted path. It's up to you. Which is better? Well, Occam's razor says usually the simple approach is the one that works better. And that's what I subscribe to with my trading strategies. I try not to make them too simple. I try to make them so they're easy, and those tend to work better going forward in the market. And that's what it's all about. Now, backtest, if you were just looking at backtest results, then the more complicated would be better, because I almost guarantee you the more complicated a system is, the better the backtest results. But not so with future performance. That's what really matters, right? Okay, so let's look at some results. Now, you've probably seen a lot of videos of people saying, oh, do this system, do that system, but they never show you actual test results. Here are some test results. These are preliminary test results, and you can see I tested it just over a 2-year period. I just wanted to get a sense that this strategy could make money in different markets and different bar sizes. And there's a list of a bunch of different markets that it actually works. There's actually 14 different markets it works with. And for some of those markets, it works with multiple bar sizes. So this simple strategy produces profit today in today's market and for the last couple of years in a bunch of different instruments. Doesn't work everywhere. Nothing does. Don't fall for people who say, oh, this works in every market and every time frame, because it's just not true. But it does work in some situations. And that's what you're looking for in an algo. So let's take a look at walk-forward testing. This is my ultimate test. It's not a sample test. I have other videos that describe walk-forward testing, but you should always be doing out-of-sample testing, and walk-forward is a great way to do it. Here's Cocoa, 120-minute bars. You can see this is a nice looking equity curve. Not perfect, has some significant drawdowns, but overall, it's pretty nice. And here's one for British pound. This one doesn't look quite as nice, but still, over time, it's giving you returns. Now, there's obviously more you have to do with this. This isn't a fully tested and what I would call an approved strategy. There's other criteria I use to see, hey, is this a good system on a risk-adjusted basis? Because that's what it's all about. Is it liable to work going forward? Those are all things that are part of my strategy factory process and my criteria. So while this looks pretty good, and this is a really good start for a system, there's still more work to do. But like I said, the idea is sound. It's a decent idea. And of course, before you go and start trading with it, test it. Test it for yourself. This is so much better than relying on a guru to say, oh, just go and trade this system. I always tell people, test it yourself before you start trading it. That's what's important. If you like this video, leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Have you ever used money flow? What do you think of it? It's kind of interesting. Subscribe to my channel. And of course, if you liked what you've seen here and you found it useful, hit the like button. Then I'll know to make more videos like this. I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey. Have a great day.